Hello everyone and welcome back for this fourth round of our team trio. And once again, just for you, just for you, some vintage game, just for you. So I know the guy on the right, but I don't remember the name. I am very bad with names, to be fair. And the guy on but he's at least in Legacy. He's a Doomsday player, so we have a high chance to see Doomsday played in Vintage. And I have some stuff to say about it. I played it in the previous Team Trio. There is some gameplay on it on the channel, but I think yes, it is in French. Description below. The French channel from the association MTG1 ones. I always forgot the S at the end of the name. However, I played Doomsday. It was I did not like the experience playing. Yeah, I'm not. I tried. I like the aesthetics. I love it, but I am not a Doomsday player. I cannot handle it. I can't. And yes, indeed, we see the Dark Rituals and everything. It is indeed Doomsday. And at our left, I saw a Thunder Truck Trainer, so I think it is Lurus. Let's check it out. It is Lurus Paradoxical Outcome, which is just searching the metagame there, which is the second most played deck. Well, not really, because the second most played deck is Lurus Control, as you can see there. If you just do the mix the Esper and the blue-black version, because honestly the only difference is the mulliganing to 5, okay. Is mulliganing to is the splash in white and the Lavinia, which is it's a difference, but I mean not that much, honestly. I would play the same way against blue-black and Esper, so that's why I would not change a single thing. So this is the third deck, most played deck, and it's 10% of the metagame. Okay, Black Lotus directly, nice, into stock up. That's a new modern card that I think, let's see, how many copies? I think they play 4, most of them, yes. And we have indeed, so we have the breakdown of the card there played, and if you let's check it out, yeah, stock up 4 copies in 95% of the deck. So this is a staple of the deck, and you can understand why, because it's very easy in Vintage to have mana. It's not at all. That's the main difference with Legacy. It's not a bottleneck at all to have mana. It's quite easy, in fact. But the bottleneck is often being able either to play your spells, so not being locked, or having enough spells that matter, that must be countered, because every deck plays between 5 and 8 forces main deck. That's a lot of forces. And we have a Doomsday being resolved there, so let's take a look at the situation. So Doomsday is very interesting there. Sorry, I'm just searching. I'm just searching. So let's take a list and try to make the pile ourselves, because I did some piles. So I would assume that most decks, the deck looks like this at least. And So what's one thing that is very important there is that so did resolve, so there is no force of will. And one main difference between the lists, can I do that? Yes, I can do that. Between the lists is that from the legacy one is that there is no Cavern of Souls because you can combo so fast after the Doomsday Pile because the hardest thing to do is to resolve Doomsday in Witnage. After that, it's quite easy to win because the main difference is that you have Gush. That's a big difference because for 0 mana, if you have 2 island, and indeed there are 2 island, you can draw 2 cards for free. And that's one of the main bottleneck in Legacy, and you have to play bad cards to draw 2 cards, and you have to pay mana for that. But in Vintage, it's one of the best cards in a deck. I mean, there's many decks that do not play Gush, but Gush is a very good card. It is banned in Legacy for a reason. And you can draw the 2 cards, and then the 2 cards you draw after that. So, in Legacy, there will be game anyway, because you have LED. So you can draw LED and, I don't know, Brainstorm or whatever. And then you can cycle some cards and do your classical stuff. I'm not gonna explain the whole deck for you. But in Vintage, it's even better than that because you can draw. Where it is? I mean, you can do the same stuff, but you have Ancestral Recall. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, you're gonna deck yourself out. So that's not the best thing because you have to draw. So let's imagine. You have to explain. You have 5 cards in your pile. Let's assume that the first card is Gush. So 1 is Gush. So you draw 2 cards. 2 and 3. So you have then 4 and 5. Okay. So if you draw for Ancestral Recall and Black Lotus, so BL. If you play after that the Ancestral Recall, you're gonna deck yourself out because you draw 4, 5, 6. So you won't do that, but that's quite easy. You have the mana. You can just play. You have the Black Lotus, so you can play a Brainstorm, Preordain. You have ways to win the game. That's not gonna be hard. Generating the mana is not hard there. So yeah, I'll just explain it. Just basically explain the pile there. So everything will depend from if he has a cycler or not there, but I'm pretty sure that the first card in the pile will be, if he has nothing, let's assume there is nothing else and he has to pass the turn for next turn. The pile is probably something like Gush into a Force or a Fatsis or something like that. I mean, a lot depends from the end, but there will be a Tassa, so 5th card will be a Tassa. I don't know if he knows. I think he knows he's playing against a Paradoxical Outcome deck, and one main important thing is that Paradoxical Outcome do not play Bowchester, so no Bowchester to. This is the worst card to play against as Doomsday. That's very hard. So no Bowchester to take in account. And I think there is no... Yes, they do not play any Wasteland, so your mana base is safe. I mean, I think Lurus Pio is probably one of the best matchup for Doomsday. Because there is indeed no major way to interact against the deck. I mean, it's not attacking on the mana base with Wasteland or on the life axis with the Bowchesters. So, and let's take a look. Let's take a look. So Black Lotus, of course, a Gush. Indeed, there is a 2 island, and he knows they are safe. I think it's an island there, and the Force of Will and the Thassa's Oracle. I don't know if there is two Thassa's Oracle or only one in the pile, and we know there is a cycler, so we have the Thread Race. Does he go for it right now or not? He does. I mean, if the Doomsday resolved, I don't see why you would not do that. He plays the Gush, draw the 2 cards, play the Black Lotus. Nice. Nice. And play the Thassa's Oracle with 2 cards left. And yeah, the opponent has a Mox Ruby, so that's not no white mana. You have to be careful though. If there is just a single black or white mana, it can represent a Sword to Plowshare or Fatal Push. The card may be played by Rose. There you can see one single Sword to Plowshare. You have to take in account Flame of Enor there. I think it's a spacey one. Not sure. Let's take another list. We have the one-off Sword to Plowshare. Also Lingus. Okay, that's okay. Flame of Enor. Oh, that's funny. Huh? It's basically a wizard deck there. You can play wizard in vintage. Just play PO. Yeah, I think every list is the same. Okay. So sideboard wise, that's interesting too. Because in the sideboard of the Doomsday, we often have a creature plan to side out. So to change path, so we have the Murktide region there. That's all, and some removal. So the removal will not be side in. There is no Bowcaster or Psychic Frog to deal with, or any, how do we say, hate creature, lock creature, prison creature, like Clarion, Thalia, stuff like that. And from the PO perspective, there's not much, honestly. That's why it's a bad matchup. I mean, one Fluster, one Force of Negation, Pyroblast maybe against the Doomsday counter magic. Because the most fight will be fought on counter magic. How many Thoughtseize those play Doomsday? One Duress, that's all. Only one Duress. So it's in this sense, is that very different? I mean, in Legacy, often they play only one or two Thoughtseize. Not much, honestly. Oftentimes. Yeah. So that's not that different. And basically the Duress is there for... I mean, yes. Let's take a look. To Fluster. So they prefer playing Flusterstorm over Duress. That's interesting. One Daze also, okay. I mean, it seems specific to DCs because I did not run any Duresses, Daisies in my deck. Interesting. Ancestral Recall, and yeah. Check out the teammate asking for the right card to, if it's a keep or not. Just to have a double check if you have the time. Oh my god, let's go. 3 Moxies, Lure Sticky. Oh, yeah, I love it. Oh my god, vintage is so fun. I love vintage. Look at those. Oh yeah. 3 mana, 4 mana at the start of the game. Oh my god, I'm so hype. And that's a blue deck. That's a blue deck. Every deck can do that. Fatal Push against the Lurus. Bit weird. So you have 4 mana. You take Lurus, turn 2, you just play the Lurus. So I think he has a very, very interactive hand. a lot of counterspell, I think. Otherwise, I don't really understand why you would keep that end. That does nothing. Then we see a Pyroblast. Yes, Pyroblast. They're gonna fight, and yeah, we see the Force of Negation there, but there is no. It's on its turn, the Ancestral Recall, because it's absolutely busted. It's played at the end of turn of that guy, and he cannot pitch the Force of Negation. And yeah, he's doing nothing. Kept a lot of interaction, and Doomsday player will just bury him under the value, because yes, Doomsday can become a control deck quite easily, in fact. I mean, just let's take a look at the list. So you have so many interaction, because what is specifically dedicated for the combo there? What is the only card just for the combo? Thassa's Oracle is just for the combo. Doomsday, well, Doomsday is there just for the combo also. So you have 6 cards. And I mean, after that, you can argue that almost every other card is just good on its own. I mean, what is often used for the combo? Gush. I mean, that's a good card. I would play that. What else? Street Race. Ah, it's not that good. Street Race is not that good, but it cycles. And if you have the time to cycle, and against PO, you have the time, that's for sure. You can cycle it. So you make some changes. You cut one Tassa, some amount on Tuesday. I mean, if you cut 2 Tassas and all the Doomsday, and you put in the deck for Fatal Push 2 Murktide Regent, you become a control deck with Murktide Regent. And how do you do the value? Simple. Ancestral Recall. Is there any way to replay it from the graveyard? I don't think so. I don't find so. But yeah, I guess Doomsday and Necropotence. And Dig Through Time. Is there the other one? Oh, no Treasure Cruise. Okay. Space List. Let's get back to the game. But yes, Doomsday can play slow. And you can just chill out. Build your hand. And we have the Murktide region there. Force of Will. So I think it's Matthias, the name. I'm not sure about that. Let me confirm in the comment. I think it's Matthias. But yeah, also, yes. There is another card I did not mention, but Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual is indeed dedicated only for the combo, so that's 10 cards. So you can just cut out some Dark Ritual and put your interactive card, and that would be pretty good. And yes, Thunder Trap, the trainer there, so it's kicked off ring. So you pay 6 mana, and there is 2 copies of the card, a 1/2 and a 1/1. And hello, camera. Hello, yes. And that's the Narzet effect. You can look at the top 4, take a non-land, non-creature spell. Basically, almost the entire deck there. And Dark Ritual Doomsday resolving only 1 card in the end of the PO player. And Matthias said he's gonna pass the turn after that, so that's why the player already untapped and drew a card, and he's just waiting now for Matthias to build the pile. And we have, as always, the Gush, the Black Lotus, and other stuff. And how can he protect the combo? Just pass the turn, drew the Gush, play the Gush, Force of Negation to gain some time. And we have the Flusterstorm, yes. I think that's why. So we have 3 copies. It can be paid. That's a misplay. Okay, no. The other Flusterstorm. And it's gonna be game. It's gonna draw... yeah, Street Race, and Black Lotus. Cycle the Street Race, play the Tassa's Oracle, and it's gonna be game. Yes, yes, indeed. Indeed. PO, quite a bad matchup for against Doomsday, and a very good matchup for Doomsday, that's for sure. And I mean, you just take a look at the list, and that explains it. The bad matchup for Doomsday, that will be... Let's... I think the bad matchups for Doomsday, that's for sure Lurus Control. That's for sure the bad matchup, because this perversion is a little bit better. But you have to deal with the Bowmasters, which is a big pain. And you cannot chill out against Psychic Frog. Lavinia is a pain. I mean, everything is a pain in the deck. And against the Esper version, you cannot do the Murktide change plan. You can do that. Against the blue-black, you can. That's possible. They have only... sometimes they have no removal at all against for Murktide Breaker, Murktide Regent. Yeah, they have that there. Yeah. Well, I hope you liked it. Some vintage gameplay, honestly. Always a blast to cast some vintage. Honestly, I love the format. I should play way more of the format. I think I love it. I think, especially at the moment, maybe it's just because it's refreshing from Legacy, which is quite stale and will be stale for a long time still. But yeah, love some vintage, and I hope I can maybe I can play more. And just guys, just allow proxies. That's fine. It's fine there. Just allow proxies and just have a blast, guys. Yeah. So see you for the next one, for the round, not 5, because the round 5 will be the last one. So yeah, see you for the first round of the CDF, the true CDF Championnat de France. I don't know why I get the English accent. Championnat de France. First round. Next time.